Yo, what's up, everybody? All right, so today let's talk about Masters of the Universe. I know this is something, it's pretty interesting, and I'm liking where it's heading. Seeing the trailer, it's something pretty awesome. It's pretty cool in the sense of what they're giving us with this type of movie. So it's something that I'm actually excited and I am actually looking forward to just because, of course, it's, He-Man, and, this movie actually looks like it's gonna actually be good. It's looking like it's gonna be very entertaining, and that's what's the important part when it comes to these movies. And that's something that Hollywood has been lacking for a while. And seeing some movies out there, especially like these type, I'm actually excited to see it. I know not everybody's excited for it. I know probably not a lot people are gonna watch it, but for what it's actually looking good. And you know, can we acknowledge and see how good the cinematography looks like on this? It looks pretty dope. I am not going to lie, it looks pretty solid, and I'm actually excited to see what's gonna come from this, because these are the type of movies that get my attention. And when it comes to the cinematic whatever universe that they're building, that's something that is actually very entertaining and stuff like that. Recon, what's up? Yeah, so yeah, I'm actually excited about this, this looks pretty awesome. And like I said, not a lot of people are probably excited for it and stuff like that. And I know people are already like hating on it just because they're like, oh, they're already using pronouns and stuff like that. Look, that has nothing to do with this. That literally doesn't even tell you that this movie is woke, straight up. Like I'm already getting tired of how like fans come out and try to argue about pointless things. If it would have said other words, then I would have said, yeah, it's a red flag. But this actually looks good and like straight up solid. And looking at the performance from what we're seeing with Jared Leto as Skeletor, yo, that looks pretty amazing. I am not going to lie. I was like, whoa, when I see the trailer, I'm like, yo, it gives me chills. And like it looks good. There's only two things I want to say that the trailer kind of threw me off, in the point of like, damn, that kind of looks like, like it kind of gave me a little bit of like, like, if you want to say James Gunn vibes, I was like, when they got into the spaceship and when the spaceship flies away, I was like, damn, that straight up looked like Guardians of the Galaxy. So I get why some people are saying that and stuff like that. El Turner, what's up? Appreciate you for joining us. And but the movie itself looks pretty solid. I actually like how everything looks like in this film, and I see what they're going. Like I see a mix and how they're, from what we're seeing with the trailer, you can see how Austin, what's up, how you could see how He-Man is, the mom's telling him, I sent you to Earth. Typical every movie with superheroes, and like whatever it has to do, for some reason they always do that. I mean, with like so much things out there in space, they always end up sending whoever it is down to Earth. We've seen that in Man of Steel, when they send Superman down here to Earth and stuff like that. And whenever it's something about movies, it's always for some reason Earth. Like I'm kind of getting tired of that, just because like it's already done way too many times. And but whatever, like for what they're giving and they're putting out here, I'm actually feeling this. uh it's supposed to be a little silly. I mean, this movie's not gonna take itself serious, and I like that. It's supposed to be about like, like sci-fi, and like whatever it is with these characters and stuff. Like if you haven't seen the cartoons and you've never seen the show, then you probably are not familiar with it. This is from the 80s. I'm telling you, like this is way before my time. Growing up as a kid, I remember seeing it. I was never a He-Man fan. Like, oh damn, I'm really with He-Man and stuff like that. But this right here is just making me change my point of view, because it actually looks, interesting and stuff like that. And when he gets his sword and he's like, "Oh, I have the power and stuff," yo, that gave me chills. I was like, "Damn!" Like they nailed it. Like I really like that. Like I'm not gonna cap. I'm not gonna tell you, "Hey, this movie looks like it's straight up BS." Nah, this movie looks like it's going to be entertaining, way better than what the hell we're getting with James Gunn and DC right now. I'm telling you straight up. Like this movie, I'm actually looking forward to. I am more excited about He-Man, Masters of the Universe, if you want to say, instead of Street Fighter. That tells you a lot. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it looks like a fun movie. It looks like an enjoyable movie, and most of all, it looks like it's just gonna be like, look, let's just focus on what the movie's about, and I think that's what they're going for. And this is something I do want to give credit. I know some of y'all told me about. I had no idea. I was not aware of it. That the same director, which is Travis Knight, that made Bumblebee, he directed Bumblebee, the first movie of Bumblebee. He's actually doing this film. So I'm like, yo, okay, I'm sold. Like that movie was good. But it wasn't, the story sucked because of course Christina Hodson, she's the one that wrote it. But the movie, the direction and everything, that was Travis Knight. I was like, yo, okay, I'm on board with this movie. See what I'm saying? So, you know, just besides those two little elements, if you want to say, where they show the spaceship flying off, then I was like, yeah, I mean, like that's the only thing I say that it's to me like kind of like cringe in the sense of this trailer. The part where it says he him, that doesn't bother me. That has nothing to do with agendas. It's He Man. Like if it would have said, something else, then obviously I would have been like, yo, this movie straight up going that route. But it's not. It's not. It looks like it's just focused on what these characters are, and what whatever is going to take place with this universe and stuff like that. So like I said, I'm actually excited. I'm actually looking forward to this and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Raheem. He-Man never has had a secret identity, and like it's dope. That's what I like, and the thing is, what I really like about it, like, I know some people, look, I'm gonna tell you straight up, the ones that are crying and complaining are cancel culture. Straight up. Those are the ones that are crying right now. So people are like, oh, they're putting this and they're putting that. No, the movie looks dope. They're just not used to that anymore. That's the thing. This literally feels like an 80s movie, but modern. And I like that. That's where it's heading. Because let's be real. How long has it been that we see a man like we used to see in the 80s and 90s with with no shirt, ripped, and all that, like a real man's supposed to be represented. And that's what He-Man's supposed to be. That's who he is in the cartoon. That's who he is. He's always wore that little, like, that belt, whatever it is that he wears on his chest with his sword. And dude's just ripped. And he doesn't have to be like exaggerated, just like cartoon, like all fully ripped, but he looks like in the cartoon. So I'm like, I'm on board with it. I'm like, yo, I won't lie. When I was hearing when they were filming this movie, and dude was with, like behind the scenes that they were showing like modern times, and he's just wearing, I guess, that pink shirt that he's wearing with that girl. I was like, hell no, this is gonna be another one of those movies that they're just like bringing it to earth and stuff like that. So I don't know how it's going to be all the way, but we're gonna see until when it comes out and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. It's a masculine type of movie, and I'm on board with that because I'm gonna be real with y'all. That's what we need in this industry. Not that I'm saying that I'm against whatever, but when it comes to these type of movies, that's what you need for these type of films, because that's what the source is. You get what I'm saying? The same thing like with Batman. What we've been seeing with Batman lately. What were they pushing with Batman? A scrawny type of emo type of Batman. They're clearly trying to push some type of like type of like he's very emotional with Robert Pattinson. But then when we see Ben Affleck, he's all straight up tough, rough, brute. Then people complain about that. So that's the same thing that they're doing to this movie too. And I won't be surprised that people are also going to be hating on this movie because Jared Leto's on it. Jared Leto looks phenomenal. Like, yo, he looks dope in this trailer. I was like, what? When I saw that, like, I'm getting chills just talking about that. And I was like, oh snap, like they're actually on point with what they're doing with this production. And I'm excited. I want to see it. Look, let's be real. MGM, they're putting out some good stuff. They are not playing around. And just with this now, merchandise for He-Man is about to go up. And like recently, the only He-Man stuff I got in my collection is Turtles of Grayskull, where they did the crossover with the Turtles and He-Man and stuff like that. Only reason why I got it was, one, because I found the whole wave literally at Ross, different stores, and two, because of the turtles. So I was like, you know what? Why not? So that's the only thing I have in my collection. But this doesn't mean now I'm gonna go out and buy everything just because of the movie. Nah. But this is good for the real fans when it comes to like He-Man and Masters of the Universe and whatever it is that comes into that universe and stuff. So that's pretty solid for those type of fans and stuff. But I do want to see it because it looks like it's gonna be a fun, entertaining film. That's what I look for when they put in trailers, and this trailer has sold me compared to what we're gonna get with Street Fighter. Unfortunately, Street Fighter it hasn't sold me. From what we've been seeing with the trailers and stuff like that. And of course, Mortal Kombat 2, that's I'm gonna see that because of course it's Mortal Kombat. But seeing what He-Man is looking like in this trailer, what with the characters and the cast and stuff like that, I didn't see no agendas. I did not see no messages or anything saying. And you can clearly see it. Like they're keeping the female role in the background, opposed to like Captain Marvel that we've seen her that, oh, I gotta do the job because a man can't do it. And even in this one, he's not saying anything against female. So that's even better. So it's like, yo, what's all this hate unnecessary that people are talking about? I'm like, clearly there is no message, because you can capture that when it's being portrayed in a trailer and stuff like that. And I'm like, they didn't put cheesy music. I love that they put cinematic music, like like score music, not no, how they done with Sonic when they put what's his name, Gangster's Paradise. I was like, what? Like, why would they even do that when it came out, right? And on this one, that's what I like, that they're actually going to what worked, which was yo, you need music score. You don't need cheesy rap or hip hop or modern. No, you just need, cinematic score type of music. And I like that. I like how they really did this trailer. I've already seen this trailer probably like over 10 times. And I'm like, every single time, I'm like, I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing this and stuff like that. This is gonna be interesting to see what the final product is gonna be. And seeing that little like quick fight when you see with Skeletor and He-Man, I was like, yo, those special effects look pretty cool on him. With Skeletor when he and the slow motion, I was like, damn, like that gives me a little vibes of like Zack Snyder. Like yo, like you could see that. Like you could see those elements with the slow motion camera, and then I'm like, how come people aren't complaining about that? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I like that. I like with what they're doing with this movie. It's looking solid. It's looking entertaining, and especially when you see the whole Grayskull stuff, I want that to be how it's supposed to be. Like dark, gritty, like how we're seeing with the trailer. I'm like, okay, that looks like it's gonna be fun. Like in the sense of these two finally facing off in live action. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm actually looking forward to this movie. You wouldn't mind looking a little bit dark and gritty, but you hear what I'm saying. Maybe I'll have to wait and watch the movie. I have a feeling when they do that fight scene, it is going to be a little dark and gritty because you can see it. Like when what's his name, Skeletor hits him with the whatever that is with the goat head, I guess, whatever he has on the tip of it, and you see the purple effect and stuff, and then He-Man's swinging with the sword. And when he's fighting the guards and stuff, I was like, yo, that looks good. I was like, that looks pretty solid. You see what I'm saying? The part that kind of worries me too is the Earth part. They're probably gonna explain that. I have a feeling that they're probably gonna take maybe some type of inspiration how we saw in Man of Steel. That's what I'm thinking. How at the beginning when they send what is it Superman down here to Earth and stuff with the paradise. I mean with the parents with Krypton going down and stuff until it fully gets destroyed and stuff. That's what I think they're probably gonna do. And then the mom was like, "Oh, I sent you to Earth so they wouldn't find you or whatever it is and stuff like that." But of course, they always end up finding these characters and whatever it is that they're doing with these universes and things like that. So it looks fun. Like I'm saying, I'm actually looking forward to it. Hopefully, a lot of people are too because we just need these type of movies again. It's like to me it feels like Hollywood's like, yo, let's go back to these movies when they were actually entertaining, when they were fun, and there was no message, and you can clearly see it. This movie straight up is to me is like it's actually looking very entertaining. That's all that matters to me. I'm like, I don't see no type of agenda. I don't see no type of message. All I'm seeing is, yo, you're gonna enjoy this movie for what these characters are, this universe is all about, and seeing how and what they're gonna give to us. I have no expectations. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a He-Man fan, so I don't know the lore. I don't know the characters. I just know like seeing from basically the cartoons I used to watch when that was a long time ago. But just seeing He-Man, he nailed it. Like literally Travis Knight, the director, he nailed that actor nailed it. I'm like, yo, that looks good because it's modern, but it still feels like what we've seen in the cartoon. So I was like, I'm cool with that. Skeletor, yo, that's a 10 out of 10. I'm telling you straight up, that's a 10 out of 10. And it's Jared Leto. I was like, yo, we've already seen Jared Leto play a bad guy. We've seen Morbius. I know a lot of people don't like Morbius. I enjoyed it for what it is. I'm not gonna hide that. And I love what he did with Zack Snyder's Justice League. When we saw Joker and stuff like that. So we know he's gonna deliver. Jared Leto's an actor. He's gonna do what he has to do as a performer. And I know he's gonna. He sold me. He sold me with that role. And I think he has like a line you hear in the trailer where he's like, "Get the sword" or something like that. He's like, "Grab the sword" or something. Right before they fight, you see it. You can hear his voice. I was, oh, that's Leto. He's talking right there. I know a lot of people give him crap just because of Tron or the most recent one and stuff like that. I didn't see it because, like I said, I'm just not a huge fan of Tron and stuff like that. Eventually, I'll probably check it out. But from the trailers and what we saw with that, he looked like he portrayed his character good and stuff like that. But again, it's just Hollywood. They try to come after actors and actresses if you want to please the fans, and this movie looks like it wants to please fans, especially He-Man fans. Like I'm not a He-Man fan, but I do like what they're doing with and when it comes to the movie side. Like I said, I'm not familiar with the Lord. I have no idea really to say, hey, this is 100% like what it is. And the sword, looking at it from the cartoon, I'm like, yo, it looks spot on. I was like, okay, that's pretty solid. And I just hope they don't ruin it in the sense where even though it looks like it's half half, it takes place in, I guess from his timeline, but then he has to come down to Earth for whatever reason to probably hide and stuff like that. I hope if they do have a big scene, towards probably the end, because it's always in these movies where whether it's Gundam, Godzilla, Transformers, Turtles, Batman, Marvel, whatever movie, notice how these movies in Hollywood always tend to do. Well, at the end, we're gonna do a big fight scene in the city. I'm kind of tired of that too. It's like, yo, why is always got to be the city? Like New York, or it has to be some type of Chicago type of setting. I'm like, yo, how about we take that to where their world is and we end it there? Like I would love to see. Hopefully, that fight between Skeletor and He-Man, hopefully that is the final scene and that takes place at the castle, whatever it is, whatever the castle is called, whatever. Hopefully it all takes place there and it's not like a little 5 minute scene. Hopefully that's like a good like 15 to 20 minute type of thing where it just goes back and forth and it's not focused on Earth. It's focused in their timeline, like in their universe. Literally, that's what I want to see with this movie instead of like how like, oh, let's bring it to Earth and fight at Earth. Like we even seen that at Sonic, and I'm like, yo, like you can literally take that to Sonic's universe and fight and stuff like that. We even saw that with Super Mario Brothers. Remember with Bowser and Mario and Luigi, they were fighting here, and I think it was in New York or wherever the hell they were. I was like, why? Even though it was cartoons, I was like, why do they always have to end it in the city? Like you could take that literally to like Bowser's castle and fight in his time. Hopefully they do that for the next one and stuff like that. But I think this movie is gonna be good. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be a perfect. I'm not saying that, and I don't think it's going to be a perfect. But I think this is going to win some fans over, especially the fans that love He-Man and whatever it comes with I guess that lore universe. It looks like it's going to make them happy, and that's good. That's good. Like I said, I'm just in this case, I'm just the general audience. I'm gonna be a general audience going in there to watch it with an open mind in the sense, well, just entertain me. That's it. Like I already know with what I've seen with the trailer, and that literally has opened my appetite to see this movie even more. Because like I said, the music that they used for the trailer, boom, spot on. That's straight up perfect. That's a 10. You did it right. You used cinematic music. Literally, you used the right type of music score. You didn't use no cheesy hip hop or some type of a modern song or something stupid. That I like. They took it serious. The cinematography looks amazing. The CG, some parts look a little cheesy. You could tell they look very cheap and stuff, but for what it is, hell, that looks way better than what the hell James Gunn is doing and his whole DCU. Because clearly they have big budgets. This doesn't have that budget. It looks like they're working with like probably under 100 million, and they're trying to make and push whatever they can. But from what I'm seeing, I'm like, damn, this looks good, and in the end, all it is just fun. That's it, I need to watch Masters of the Universe 1987. Like I said, I'm not a He-Man fan, but I have to go check it out now that you told me that. I know like two or three people have told me that. Um, yeah, I hope it doesn't take him the whole movie to become He-Man. I hope not. From what we're seeing in the trailer, it looks like they're actually gonna get down to the point, and that would be great because I don't want to see like probably 3/4 of the movie, and it's all about him being at work, his job, he's miserable, like nostalgia type of thing, and then he becomes He-Man the last 15 minutes of the movie. That would suck. That would literally ruin the movie for me. But hopefully it's well balanced. Probably maybe do the first hour of Earth or less. I would probably say 45 minutes, just kind of like, speed run through it, and then just throw the rest of the movie all into already his universe and everything that has to do with that. That's what I want to see. Like I don't mind them doing the Earth part, but I'm hoping they actually focus more on the world of, these characters and how they are in their whatever universe or timeline, whatever you want to call it. And I don't want to see none of those characters come to Earth. I hope we do not get that because when it shows the spaceship literally taking off, I was like, please don't tell me they're traveling through like a time zone or whatever. And then they have those whatever those villains are from their timeline. I do not want to see Skeletor in our world, in our timeline. I do not want to see that. I hope they do not do that, and I hope they don't ruin the movie by doing that. Like I don't want to see, oh, Skeletor comes to, I don't know, for example, one big city, and then they end up throwing stupid cheesy jokes where he's like, oh, like I don't know, for example, like, oh, he sees pizza and then he cracks a joke about it. I don't want to see that. I like Hollywood needs to learn to stop doing that. That doesn't work. Like if you're targeting these characters, stay in the universe. And if you're gonna bring them to Earth, do a quick thing. And if you're gonna take them back to their world, go back to it. Don't focus on Earth. Like Earth is Earth. Like I don't care about seeing Earth in these movies. I want to see their worlds. I want to see what their planets are and what it is that they do over there. Like I'm so sick and tired of how Hollywood brings all these characters to our world. Like, yo, like we've seen that way too many times. Like we don't need another portal to open and you're transporting all of these villains and monsters and creatures like we've seen already in the Avengers and we've seen with Batman movies and we've seen with so many movies with turtles and all that stuff. So I'm like, yo, like kind of slow that down. We don't need that in this type of movie. Hopefully, it just stays to where you imagine that Skeletor going to Starbucks, that would be ridiculous. Like I do not want to see that just because of marketing. You imagine that? I do not even want to picture that. That would be so ridiculous that Skeletor picks up like I don't know a Coca-Cola brand or Pepsi or something just to promote so they can put marketing in it. I'll be like, nah, man, that's like how they did with the last Power Ranger movies. That was stupid. Like the whole part of like Krispy Kreme that they kept on marketing, I was like, yo, this whole movie is literally sponsored by Krispy Kreme. We get it. But I was like, yo, I want to see these characters. You guys are Earth, but fight. Like I'm so sick and tired of seeing those stupid jokes and stuff like that. So hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully they just stick onto what it is to within their universe and stuff like that. Let's see. It spares Hollywood from having to deal to real world building. Yeah, exactly. Skeletor goes to a 30-second to Mars gig. Just because of Jared Leto, that would be hilarious. No, man, like rocking out and stuff. I would not want to see that. Skeletor goes to the White House. That nah, man, we don't need that. Honestly, Uh, you imagine that Skeletor with his pronouns and stuff. Yeah, no, man. I hope they don't do anything of that. I really don't. I just hope that they really stick to what we're seeing, like in the trailer. Like even the tiger, that green tiger. I don't know the name of it and stuff like that. I was like, okay, that looks cool. And of course, what's his name? I think Edris Elba or whatever his name is. I was like, yo, he's a good actor, and I get it. They did the whole thing of like how some people are crying and they're like, oh, but they changed his race. He's not like that in the thing. I'm like, yo, I don't care. In this one, they're not pushing anything. He's a good, solid actor. He was in Pacific Rim, the first movie, so I'm like, yo, that's my dude when it comes to Pacific Rim. Like he's a good actor. I know he was in The Suicide Squad with James Gunn. As his character's Bloodsport, he portrayed it good. Like I don't know nothing about that character, but he's a good actor. I like him. For whenever he's in the movie and stuff like that. So we'll see. Speaking of 80s nostalgia, I need that Mario Galaxy second trailer. They should be releasing that. I think it's going to be releasing very soon because now they're going to start releasing a lot of stuff, and we're getting closer to the Super Bowl. So get ready. I think the Super Bowl is like what, like in 2 weeks or something like that. So by the time we get there, oh, we're gonna be seeing a lot of stuff. Like 2026 is already kicking up. It's already like literally kicking off with these trailers and stuff. And yo, I'm excited. I'm pumped, bro. Like I straight up, I get chills. Like I watched that He-Man trailer literally going before I went to this live, and I was like, yo, I'm ready. I want to see this thing. Yo, like I'm like I have to see. I'm probably gonna go see this when it comes out, like probably like Wednesday night because they do like early screenings and stuff like that. And I don't mind. I'm like, yo, I don't care. I just want to see this. Like it really looks good to see like what they're doing. And you know that I'm gonna tell you out straight up, be like, yo, the movie's good, it's good. If it's garbage, and it is what it is. So I'm hopeful that it's going to be a good movie. Cringer's his name. If Tom Skyler was young, he will be a great man at arms. Yeah. Let's see. The Super Bowl is one day after your birthday. Oh, okay, so it's right around the corner. So you get to celebrate and enjoy twice, I guess. Battle Tigers. Okay, Sean. So that's what the Tigers call Battle Tiger, I guess. But that's pretty cool. I like how they did it. Even the animation on it looks pretty solid. I was like, yeah, that looks good. It sold me. At first when I first saw the trailer yesterday, at first I was like, damn, let this be good. Please let this be good. I was like, man, like I don't want to see something and then because I'm so traumatized from all these trailers. Whenever you put like a trailer, you either hear a Kanye West song or like some rap or hip hop song or some type of like I don't know, like Katy Perry type of music. Like I'm like, no man, it's already starting off bad. That already throws me off. When I put the trailer and I was like, yo, okay, the music is sounding good. It has that 80s vibe to it, but then it went into like the like like cinematic score, if you want to say. And I was like, okay, so far it's sounding good. So I'm like, all right, good, good, good. You're winning points. You got my attention. And then seeing what I saw on the camera, I was like, yo, okay, this looks good. This looks better than the pictures, you know? Like I said, a trailer tells you what a movie's gonna be. And so far, this trailer has sold me. I'm like, damn, I haven't felt like this in a movie trailer in a while. In a while. And I'm like, yo, this what's so hard to do this? Literally, why can't DC be doing this? Why can't, like literally James Gunn be putting stuff out like that? But on the contrary, with James Gunn, everything has to be Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. So, and then when they came down from the, what do you call it? I don't know if some of y'all caught two things. Like I said, with the spaceship, they gave me a lot of James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. And then when it like when the girl turns the lever up, I was like, oh, that straight up looks like James Gunn's 2025 Superman. I was like, hell nah. Like when they went into that little spaceship and stuff and then it takes off. And I was like, that to me threw me off. I was like, I don't like that. I would have never put that on the trailer. And the part where is it? Where is it? There's another part that it kind of threw me off. I can't remember right now, but yeah, I lost my thought. Skeletor goes insane. Hopefully he does, because he's supposed to be ruthless. You saw the trailer for Master Universe. You feel like maybe a disappointment to you. I mean, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I mean, what can we do? Murder Train, what's up? What's up? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate that. Let's see. The cat. What is it? Hold on, because the comments are going up. The cat is called what? Cringer, who turns into Battle Cat. Oh, okay, okay. Cringer, who turns into Battle Cat. Okay, all right, yeah, that's the cat. Hey, he looks pretty cool. I was like, all right. Oh, when the spaceship lands and you see when they drop down, like the team and stuff. How many times we haven't seen that in so many movies? But I kind of when I saw that, I was like, yo, this kind of feels like with Justice League, when you see when, remember, like with the smoke is coming out and they're, I guess, coming out of what is it, the flying fox and stuff. It gave me those vibes. I was like, yo, that's pretty cool. I like how they did that. Like with the tiger and stuff. I was like, yeah, that looks pretty solid. I was like, I can't wait. I want to see this. You will still pass waiting for Doomsday. Doomsday, man. Doomsday's gonna, oh man, that movie's gonna be the movie of this year, straight up. They're gonna end up and wrap 2026. Like it's gonna be nuts. I can't wait. You're hearing James Gunn wants to bring in Dark Side. Yeah, yeah, he wants to do that supposedly, but we have to see what he's gonna do with that. I really don't care. But then again, remember he said other things and now he wants to bring them, so I don't know. It's James Gunn, so what can we expect? There's one scene from the trailer where he's trying to grab his sword, and the woman's like, "Sir, you can't do that." Yeah, when he's in that store, then he responds, "It's okay, it's mine." That BS lost me. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it's kind of cheesy. You get what I'm saying? Like, but it works. It works. He-Man is a very like cheesy. If you've seen the cartoons, you'll know that it's cheesy. It's not like a serious cartoon. It's never been serious. But I think it works for this, and it looks good. It looks like it's gonna work and stuff like that. So a lot of people are saying hopefully Skeletor does the meme. It would be funny if they do the meme when like he gives advice and then he's like, till we meet again or something like that. Like the meme that there's so many memes flying around there. That would be hilarious if they do that, man. Like, because I know Skeletor is supposed to be serious, but he does have his little moments where he's kind of silly and he says some like stupid things where I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, it's the cartoons. If they pull that off like in the movie, and how, remember with Zack Snyder, he did that with the meme when he was with Joker's Jared Leto before they put it in the trailer or whatever, that we live in a society or something like that. That was part of the meme, so it didn't make it to the final cut, but still he put it in there. So I was like, okay, so it won points, and people like that. So I mean, it was fun and it worked. It wasn't cheesy, it wasn't corny. So the Green Tiger, his normal state's called Cringer, but when he powers up and wears the armor, it's called Battle Cat. Okay, that's the one. Okay, all right. Are there different cats? Because I see only a green one with, I think, yellow stripes, or probably backwards, yellow with green stripes. I'm not sure. I think I've seen other cats. I think like a purple one, or not in the trailer, but I'm just saying like in the line of the figures and stuff. So that's why I say like I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with these characters. The trailer gives you Aquaman 1 vibes. Yeah, yeah, pretty much, pretty much. Son of Thunder, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you, brother. He-Man looks small though. Hopefully it was just a bad angle I saw. Yeah, he does look a little small. He does, but it works. It works for it. And I think as the movie progresses, remember this is like his origin. So that's why it's saying before he becomes He-Man. So I'm like, yo, just telling y'all this, it gives me chills because I don't know why. I just feel this movie is going to be, it's going to be good. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it looks like it's gonna be good. And especially by the end, I think the part when he does the thing with the sword, because if you notice it, pause it, and you'll see his body is different on that one. He looks much more ripped. And I'm like, okay, that could be probably how they did in Aquaman 1. I'm getting chills just telling y'all this. When at the end, when Aquaman, when he's finally Aquaman and he goes up and he's talking and boom, he comes out of the water. Like, yo, all this is giving me chills right now as I'm telling y'all, and then he comes out and he just like stays up in the air and it ends as Aquaman. I was like, hell yeah, now he's finally Aquaman. That's what I'm thinking, and I'm getting the same vibes with this. I think at the end, that part when he does with the sword, when he's like, I have the power, I think that's probably the ending. That would be dope if they end the movie like that. And then it actually shows him like 100% ripped, like he's supposed to be, like from head to toe. And if they end it right there, where he just like over the shoulder, like, and you see that he's ripped, and then they like pan the camera away, oh, yo, that would be dope. Like setting up a part two. That would be amazing. I'm just like speculating on that and stuff like that. Um, Masters of the Universe looks like a MCU Gun DCU slop to you. Like I said, it's not for everybody, and it's understandable. It's understandable. Like I said, like I'm not against the ones that don't feel it, so that's understandable. So that's cool. You know what I mean? If it's not for you, it's just not for you. But I'm be honest with you, I'd rather eat this instead of what James Gunn is putting out. So that's a for real, 100%. Avengers Doomsday is gonna be crazy, and Universal will still dethrone Disney at the end of 2026. Let's see. We'll see what happens with that. Light Skin, what's up? The new He-Man guy isn't shredded enough. Not yet, but I think by the end he might be. I think at the end that's when we're gonna see it. Conan over He-Man. I mean, Conan's Conan, and let's be real. I mean, they made him much more buff back then. So I mean, who knows? Who knows? By the end of the movie, what's gonna happen? Cavill would have been a great He-Man. Yeah, he would have been. I think he would have been good too, for the role. The geeks and gamers type people just shot on everything. Now they just not so credible anymore. Yeah, I agree with you. I know geeks and gamers. They've been very like critical towards a lot of films. Some other channels too. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's how they feel. Some people are gonna like it. Some people are not. It is what it is. I'm liking it. Some people are not, so it's understandable. It's like I said, everybody has their own opinion in the end, and I think in the end the movie's gonna be it's gonna be fun. I'm not saying that it's gonna be perfect. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be movie of the year because it's not. But for what it is, it's gonna be an enjoyable movie until whatever the next film comes out. Collider say Supergirl is one of their most anticipated films of 2026. Shills. Collider are shills. There. That enough is telling you, oh, this movie's gonna be movie of the year. Nope. Movie of the year, I'm telling you right now, and I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen the official trailer. But just hearing from everything, movie of the year. Two movies of this year are going to be Christopher Nolan's Odyssey and Avengers Doomsday. That's it. Those are two. Spider-Man's gonna be fun, but Spider-Man we're gonna forget about. I'm gonna tell you right now. Spider-Man is going to set up the stage, if you want to say, for Doomsday. But the two movies of this year that are going to stand out is going to be The Odyssey from Christopher Nolan, and it's going to be Avengers Doomsday. That's it. Those are the only two. Supergirl, we are going to forget about that fast. We are going to completely forget. Clayface, nobody's going to be even talking about that. Like it's not going to be enough people talking about that. But when it comes to like superhero genre, Avengers Doomsday, that's it. Marvel is back. Just hearing what I'm reading, this is going to be nuts. I'm telling you. And then once this sets up for the next one, Secret Wars, it's even going to be more bonkers. Like, that's why I've been putting out these videos because of that and stuff like that. Let's see. Yeah, Collider are just chills. So and they're chills. That's who they are. The purple cat or Skeletor's cat. Oh, okay. See that I didn't know. Like I said, I'm not familiar with any of these characters, but that's pretty cool. Hopefully they show a scene, like when they're fighting and stuff. Both of the tigers, I guess if that's what they are, whatever those two cats are, they go at it. That would be sick. That really would be sick to see. Um, He-Man is cheesy, but is the cheesy that's acceptable to you? Yeah, exactly. That's how it is. Skeletor has a purple panther called Panther. Oh, with the O. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I've seen this, so that's why I said it because I know I've seen it in the figures, but like I said, I'm not familiar with it. Alan Richardson would have been a great He-Man. Yeah, yeah, he would have. But I think he's very tall, so I think probably that's why they maybe didn't get him. But yeah, he would have been a good one too. Yeah, that dude is like straight up ripped. I see that guy and I'm like, yo, that should be Bane. Like, I would love to see Alan Richardson as Bane, going up against Ben Affleck's Batman. That right there, woo, straight up would be that straight up. That's money right there. Rather watch Henry Cavill's The Witcher. He-Man trailer looks like trash to you. That's understandable. Outlaw Pistolero. I mean, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. It's all good. Vegeta, what's up? True facts. Anything's better than Gun. Yeah, anything for sure. This is for sure better than that. Do you think Gun's going to go through with the Brave and the Bold, or do you think we'll see Affleck back? I have a feeling everything determines on look, moving forward with DC. I think everything's going to determine on how well Supergirl performs. If Supergirl performs well, and of course DC with their expectations that they're like, hey, as long as we make budget, that to them is enough. It's a success. They don't have to make $1 billion. That's why I've told y'all it depends on us. Keep those wallets closed so Supergirl doesn't even make back their budget. If they make back their budget, that's it. It's a success. They've won. That's it. That's all they need. If they don't make the budget back, they've already flopped. And then that's going to put a lot of hurt for Man of Tomorrow. They're filming Man of Tomorrow, but the success, quote unquote, success of Supergirl is going to determine the future of the whole DCU and whatever happens with this sale. If the sale does move forward, we have to see what the official plans are for Netflix because we're hearing two different things. Everything is rumors right now. This is just me speculating. I don't know if this is going to happen, but if Supergirl does perform well, they're going to move to the next one, which is, of course, Clayface. If that also performs well, we know they're gonna straight up make up numbers and stuff like that. Then that's also gonna help Superman, Man of Tomorrow. And I think once we get to Man of Tomorrow, I think that's it. They're gonna be done, and it would fall into play. I'm speculating with Avengers Secret Wars because then James Gunn could go and it gives him time to start working on either Star Lord or the next Guardians of the Galaxy. And then by then, hopefully things have already cleared out with Netflix and WB if it does go through. And if James Gunn does end up going back tomorrow, like I'm thinking is going to happen, then hell yeah, it gives us the more possibilities of the Snyderverse 100% coming back, and whatever Netflix wants to do with that, so be it, how they want to go about on it. So there could be a lot of things. And then we have to see what's going to happen. Like I said, Brave and the Bold is right now up in the air. It's a 50-50. We don't know. Everything is up in the air right now. It's already sounding bad. A lot of people are talking how Christina Hudson is going to be writing it. That's not winning no points. There's a lot of people that are really against that. So we have to see. But regardless, we're gonna end up getting Ben Affleck, Zack Snyder, and if it's an Elseworld, so be it. And but I don't see James Gunn lasting long at DC that much anymore. Let's see. They should just push the Avengers Doomsday in the summer instead of December. No, they know exactly what they're doing, and I'll tell you right now why. It's a marketing strategy. They know that people are going to be out for the holidays. December is a great month. Remember, Aquaman, the first Aquaman got released during winter, which was Christmas. That's why they made $1 billion because families are bored, people are bored, and they're like, yo, what you want to do? Let's go watch a movie. So they all end up going out. And now Disney knows December is literally a month of all families going to the movie theaters. They've already known December is a great month compared to the summer. In the summer, people are more excited to go. I want to go to Universal Studios. I want to go to Disney. I want to go on vacation. I want to go to travel. Everybody's traveling, so nobody's going to be out to watch movies. They've already learned that unless it's a real good movie. But even like that, they're going to struggle a little bit because everybody's out and about. December, you're forced to stay in because where are you really going to go, especially if you're in an area that's cold. So they know that people are going to be like, you know what? Let's go watch the Avengers. Let's rewatch it, and they're gonna milk it, and that's a good marketing strategy. At this point, it's a real good marketing strategy. It definitely seems kid friendly. Yeah, it really does. Let's see, Lester. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate that. DC just dropped another Supergirl teaser, and they just revealed Lobo's look with his motorcycle. Okay, cool. I mean, that's pretty nice that they did that. Like I said, and from what the reports are coming out and stuff, people are saying that Lobo only has two small scenes. So they're just trying to use Lobo as, hey, come watch Supergirl because if you don't like Supergirl, at least Lobo's in it. You get what I'm saying? And they're just trying to win the fans from Jason Momoa and the Snyder fans that they're like, the ones that have quote unquote moved on. Oh, I was a Snyder fan, but I moved on to the DCU. Whatever, those type of fans are the ones that are gonna go watch it and support and stuff. I'm not gonna watch it, so I don't care about Supergirl. I'm just not excited for it and stuff like that. Let's see, Michael's biopic honorable mention. Avengers Doomsday Spider-Man And MJ biopic is all you care about. Okay, cool. Dune 3. Dune 3 seems like it's going to be in trouble because they don't want to move the date yet. And they're going to go up against Avengers. I'm telling you right now. If WB were smart, they are going to move Dune 3. If they don't, it's game over for them. I'm telling you, Avengers is gonna dominate whatever is in December. Everything. And then before, I think it's in October or November, they're gonna re-release Endgame. Yeah. It's over. For whatever's November and December, it's over for whatever movie comes out. I feel bad for whoever decided to put a movie in November and December. You can't go against the Avengers. You just can't. You just plain and simple, you just can't. Let's see. I'm just trying to catch up. Next He-Man movie, the main villain should be King Hiss. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Who knows? Doomsday in second place, and first place will be the Odyssey, earning 5 million. While Disney's live action remake of Moana, I will be forgetting about. I know you really dislike Disney and Moana, so Supergirl's gonna tank. Yeah, it's gonna do bad. It's not gonna do like Superman. 2025. This is why we're hearing all these rumors about Supergirl was filmed for 200 million. They're starting already with the BS. This is why I'm trying to tell y'all, pay close attention. The rumors are coming out saying that Supergirl got filmed on a budget of 200 million. James Gunn's denying that and saying no, that it wasn't. Again, he's lying. When he says one thing, is the opposite. That's just James Gunn telling you, yeah, it was filmed on 200 million, and whatever comes from it, so be it. So I'm telling y'all right now, it's very important for us. We need, as customers, consumers, and fans, and especially if you care about the DC brand, you need to keep those wallets closed. You have to. You have to. There, and I like that people are not really talking about Supergirl, so that helps with people not knowing about that movie. Unlike how we did with Superman last year. I was part of the problem too because I kept on talking about it. This year, I told you I'm not really talking about it. Notice how I'm not really putting out videos related to, Supergirl and DCU and stuff like that, just because I'm like, nah, hell nah. I just refuse to. That's why, like I said, I'm talking about different things. Elseworld, baby, never too late to announce. Exactly, exactly. If they could do that with Robert Pattinson, they could do the same thing with with Ben Affleck and the Snyderverse. The old cartoons are cheesy as hell, but the 2002 cartoons version won you over a little bit. The origins of Skeletor was badass. He-Man looked 10 times better than this film. Yeah. If that's how you feel, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, Christina Hodson writing. A lot of people feel disgusted about that. Nothing against her. It's just the writing that she does. Do we really need to go far? I mean, The Flush, what was the other one? Bumblebee. It wasn't all that. And of course, Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey, what a disaster, right? Birds of Prey, what a bitter taste I still have from that movie. And that movie came out. I remember when that movie came out, it was right before the pandemic in 2020. And the last movie I saw before the pandemic was that one and Sonic. That's it. And then everything went down because of the pandemic and stuff. But yeah, that movie sucked. Yeah, that movie was terrible. The key is Ben Affleck Batman. Yep, if that's successful, it's a green light support from me. Yeah, yeah. Everything from the Gunverse is mediocrity. Yeah, pretty much. Street Fighter. Street Fighter, man. Street Fighter, man. Every time I hear that, it just cracks me up. I don't know why. It's just I want to see it, but at the same time, I'll be looking at it like, oh, here we go. I have a feeling as soon as that movie starts, they're gonna start it with some cheesy BS type of music. I don't know what, but they might end up starting that movie something stupid, man. Like I don't even. I look every time my hopes for Street Fighter go less and less. WB loves failure. Yeah, pretty much. Their ego won't let them move Doom 3. Yep. And their ego is going to cost them a lot of money against the Avengers. So be it. Disney's live action remake of Moana will tank severely. Yes, we know. We know, Recon. While it's closed, yep. They had James Gunn Superman up for Oscars, and the Oscars snubbed it. Yep, they don't even consider it. It's not quality. It's an action. It's the live action Moana coming out. I didn't know that. Disney also loves failure too. Their ego won't stop the live action remakes. Yeah, I mean they were to do better live actions, I guess. But hopefully we'll see what's up. James Gunn should have won another Razzie Award for Superman 2025. He would have had three. I'm still not interested in DCU's the Batman Brave and the Bold ever. Nah, we're not. Three Razzie Awards. You imagine that? Hilarious. How What? How many cast members have posted DC related photos recently? I heard Will Smith just posted some. Oh, nice, nice. I gotta check that out. Look, I want to be honest with you. I would love to see Will Smith back as Deadshot. I really want to see it. Just telling y'all gives me chills because I can see it. I can literally see it. Will Smith back as Deadshot after the after the Air cut gets released, right? If they were to do like a mini series, 1 hour is all I ask. 1 hour. I would love to see 1 hour of Will Smith as what is it? Deadshot. I always confuse Deathstroke and Deadshot as Deadshot going up against Ben Affleck's Batman. 1 hour. That's all I ask. I don't need no more. I just want to see 1 hour as Will Smith in his, reprise his role as Deadshot going up against Batfleck. You imagine how awesome that would be? Woo, that's it. Just that alone. Let's see. Yeah, it's not a coincidence. Jack, what's up? What's up? WB's digging their own grave. They dug it a while ago. They really did that a while ago. Street Fighter looks like a camp joke fest with at least He-Man is taking it serious so far from the trailer. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, man, Max. Exactly, 100%. Exactly. Did you see Jason Momoa is doing awful Lobo Supergirl? Nah, I haven't seen it. I'm just not interested in it. Did you see the He-Man trailer? Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm talking about this today because the trailer looks good. Literally, the trailer looks interesting. It looks very fun, and I don't see nothing wrong with it. Like some people, I know some people are like really pointing that, oh, it's a red flag that when he's at his desk in his little cubicle, oh, him. I don't see nothing wrong with that. If it would have said they, them, it, then I have a problem. But it's He Man. It's literally in his name. I think it's just like a little joke to say, and also probably making fun of cancel culture. So that's a plus to me. They got my money. And if it would have been something different, I would have been like, nah, yeah, this movie's looking terrible. But nah, it's looking good. It's actually looking fun, which is what we need. That's the thing. A lot of people have forgotten in this industry. These movies should be fun. Like not every movie should be serious. Not every movie should be brute. Not every movie should be dark and gritty. Not everything should be comedy. This one looks like it's gonna have a little bit of everything and it's well balanced. And for the trailer, I'm sold. I'm straight up sold. I could be wrong. Probably when the movie comes out, it's straight up a disaster. And I'll tell y'all straight up, yo, the trailer was better. Like I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, if you haven't seen 28 Years Later, not the newest one, 28 Years Later, screw that movie. I still want my refund, and I'm gonna keep on asking for my refund. And I say that because that movie was garbage. I went in there, I was like, yo, I can't wait 28 years later. Yo, it's been such a long time, we haven't got it. And that movie was garbage. It was garbage. It was literally a trash movie with the logo slapped on it. Boom, 28 years later. 20 years later, what the hell? This has nothing to do with it. And then the newest one, it sucks because they brought what's his name back. What's his name? I always call him Cillian Murphy. Killian Murphy. Yo, I'm like, it doesn't matter at this point. I'm like, to me, it doesn't matter. I'm like, yo, the last movie sucked. The newest one, I'm hearing that it's also sucks. So I'm like, I'm not watching it. I'm just not gonna spend my money on it, honestly. Like, and I just can't. If you haven't watched that movie, yo, like I have no words for it. Screw that movie. Like straight up, screw that movie. Yeah, Skeletor looks fire. He really does. Let's see. Rumors are Zach and Gunn are going to what is it, to do a movie together, or is that going to make a DCU movie? Nah, I don't think they're gonna be working together. Seriously, I do not. Do you remember Christina Hudson? She was the writer of Batgirl movie. That's right, I forgot too. Batgirl, that's true. And what happened to that movie? Got canceled. So, they should have made 28 months later. They couldn't do 28 months later because there's an indie film out there. I think it's on Tubi, or I think it's on one of these little like crappy streaming shows, and somebody already used that name. So that's why they called it 28 years later, because it was supposed to be 28 months later. But these dumbasses in Hollywood decided to take literally almost what, like 30 years later, and it's like, yo, come on. Like they took too long. So somebody, it was like a student film. I saw it. It was trash, but it was better than 28 years later. I guarantee you that. And that was like a student film. I was like, damn, this movie's trash. But it was still better than what we got with 28 years later. I guarantee you that. I was like, damn, what an embarrassment, honestly. So yeah, that's the only reason why they didn't use that name. People are just tired of seeing pronoun stuff, even in jokes. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think this one was just to like poke at cancel culture and be like, hey, look, you want those pronouns? Here they are, to piss you off because they don't like he, him. They don't like she, her. They like the other ones. But again, we're not gonna talk about that because, like I said, I don't get into that. James Gunn wants Batman snowball fight with Mr. Freeze. No, man, no. 28 years later, the wasted temple. Yeah, pretty much. At this point, 28 years later, yo, just give me my refund. I still want my refund, bro. You know what? I think I'm gonna tell him straight. I'm gonna send an email and be like how bad that movie was, and be like, yo, I'm still waiting for my refund, just to crack him up. I don't want Gunn to work with Snyder. Me neither. Nope, nope, nope. It can't. The guy got in the way too many times. Passes. It's time to get what he deserves. Yeah, exactly. James Gunn, we've given him too many chances, and it's already proven he's just not the right guy to be at DC. And them working together, nah, because then it'll be the same thing like saying Walter Hamada's still there, Toby Emmerich, all these old people that were there before, giving Zack Snyder a hard time. The same crap will repeat again, and I don't want to go over that again. It just took too long so we can get the Snyder cut. So yeah, I wouldn't want that honestly. I'm so happy I waited till people seen 28 years later, so I was right not to go see it. Yeah, exactly. Save your time, save your money, and yeah, good thing you didn't watch it. People angry right now at James Gunn because Batman DCU from the writers Christina Hudson. Here's a fun fact. I'm not sure if some of y'all know that, but I just found this out yesterday. And the only reason why I say this, I won't give credit to the source just because. But it is a video from, a James Gunn cultist. Fun fact, James Gunn is also writing along with Christina Hudson Batman Brave and the Bold, except he's going to give her 100% full credit. So he's not going to take credit. And I know why. Let me let you in why. Because when that movie tanks and it comes out, James Gunn wants to wipe his hands clean and say, I had nothing to do with it. So he's a ghostwriter along with Christina Hudson. He's giving her 100% that she's writing it, but he's co writing it also. That's a fun fact. I looked it up and it's true. But when you're trying to look it up, they're trying to hide it. So yeah, you got to dig deep and you'll find it. So just a fun fact, like I said, you're not gonna see his credit as a writer because we already know that he's a garbage writer, like he did with Dawn of the Dead, and we had to get another writer to rewrite over his mess. So yeah, expect Batman Brave and the Bold to be another disaster like The Flush. I'm telling you straight up. So that's gonna be yeah, it's for sure it's gonna happen. Hudson's on the record saying she doesn't like Batman. He's a villain according to her. What a effing joke. Wow. Wow. Tag me on that. I would love to post that up. I had no idea that she said that. Yet these are the people that are in charge of DC. Make it make sense. This is why they're tanking. Andy Muschietti. He might not direct Batman. What has his It show clown? Yeah. He's the one that does the It. He's getting another season, I guess, that they're saying. Apparently, they're saying that this season sucks, but yet that's getting another season. Again, make it make sense. It's like everything with WB, everything that flopped and tanked, they forcefully want to put it. What's his name is going to be coming back very soon. Zolo, the one that did Blue Beetle, he's going to be entering the DCU very soon. Why? We made his first movie flop. We're gonna do it again. It's like everything that flops, they move forward with that. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Let's see. You also want a refund on, on the Fantastic Four. You wanted to write an email about that. Go ahead. I'm sure somebody's gonna read it. Rumors say that Gun DC will continue and Zack is Elseworld. Oh, let's see how that ends up. I don't know. I don't know. James Gunn fans is trying to be worried right now for Batman DCU. Gunn is gonna get sabotaged that film. Yeah, he's gonna ruin it completely. Christina Hudson is the type to take reboots to dinner who wanted to hurt your these people, man. David Zaslav doesn't care. James Gunn put Christina Hudson. Writers David Zaslav is a terrible CEO. Yep. Let's see. Hudson turned Black Mask into a flamboyant fashion designer. Yeah, exactly. I was like, what the hell? And Black Mask. I was like, come on, Black Mask is a badass character. I was like, I loved him on Arkham Origins, and I was like, what did they do to him? I wanted to see Black Mask going up against Ben Affleck's Batman. Like, how do you introduce him and then remove him in the same movie? I was like, it just doesn't matter how these people do it, literally. Gun's a coward. He's hiding behind Hudson, which tells you Batman is not going to be what people think. Exactly. Exactly. You better believe that he's going to put Batmite in that movie. He is going to put Batmite somewhere in that trash. I'm excited to see that, though. I'm curious just because of that. But I want to see what the hell of a disaster that Batman Brave and the Bold is going to be. Let's see. So a female writer who doesn't Like Batman is promoted to write Batman film, and Gunn finds Batman boring. Yep, they're against it, but yeah, they're the ones that are literally guiding the process. Batman is going to be a stay-at-home father who lets his son emasculate himself. Oh man, Christina wants to make Mr. Freeze have ice cream free at Gotham City. Oh man, Dance of Bro, James Gunn's Batman. Pretty much that's what it's all gonna come down to. Is this gonna be another copy of Guardians of the Galaxy? Because that's what he does. Restore the Snyderverse. Doesn't matter if it's a continuous tie-in reboot. Still Zack Snyder's character and verse. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We just need everything to just completely connect and stay to what we were getting before. And Netflix keeps James Gunn. I feel sorry for Netflix because they just ruined their company. Yeah, yeah. If they do, the man, I have no words honestly at this point if that does happen. But we'll see. We'll see what's gonna come from it, and in the end, hopefully, if we just need the right people in charge. That's all we need. Because I still wouldn't want to see Zack Snyder under the leadership of James Gunn as a CEO of DC Studios and overseeing what Zack wants to put. Because we know Zack's gonna want to do his way, but then I would see trouble with, of course, one with the studio because David Zaslav's gonna still be there. James Gunn's still gonna be like, no, we can't do this. We have to add comedy. We have to. He's gonna give his famous notes, and then the same thing is gonna start again. You see what I'm saying? So like, it won't stop. It'll just continue. We'll be back at it again, and we'll see the difference. Like how James Gunn gave notes to Todd Phillips. So I would not want that honestly for them to be working together. Let's see exactly. Gunn doesn't like Batman. Gunn was sent by Disney to destroy DC. Yeah, pretty much that's what he was. The Trojan horse. I hope Zack Snyder returns quickly. Yeah, I hope so too. I really hope so. Skeletor said, if you sit on the toilet at 11:59 and the clock strikes at midnight, it literally is the same shit, different day. That was good. That one was good. I gotta give it to you. Why should Snyder be Elseworld where when Gunn's Superman is more of an Elseworld tale than anything Snyder did? Yeah, exactly. And then let's not forget James Gunn retcon things. That's what makes it even worse. Like if he would have just gotten away from things and not touched it, I would have, I think, been a little bit more okay. I think to this point now, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, screw James Gunn. This dude just literally retconned so many things, and to me, it's like, yo, that's it. You lost me. Like you completely lost me. It's like the mess keeps getting messier and sloppier, and yeah, James Gunn's just not the right one. James Gunn wants Robert Pattinson's Batman Universal crossover because he's wearing DCU. Batman might be trash, most likely. What's your favorite night cartoon show? Thundercats or He Man? Actually none. I never cared about Thundercats, and I was never into He Man. The only reason I'm just liking the movie of He Man from the trailer is because of live action. That's the only reason. But this doesn't mean that now I'm gonna go watch the cartoons and be like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna go simp and go watch the cartoons because nah, man, I just want to see it because it's live action. Like it's the same thing. Like how some people are like, hey, have you read the book? No, there's a movie. I'm gonna go watch the movie. It's like I know that Jurassic Park has an amazing book, but I'm not gonna sit there and read the book. I'm like, yo, there's a movie on it. I don't care if it's accurate. I don't care if it's like the source. I know it's different. I don't care. I'm just gonna watch the movie. So the same thing with this. I'm like, I'm not gonna go watch He Man and oh yeah, let me go tune in and then start catching up. No, I don't care. Like I'm just gonna watch the movie, the live action, just because, But yeah, I never cared about what is it, Wildcats, Thundercats. Yeah, I just never been into those. One more. If you were in charge, you would have let Zack Snyder finish his vision with the DCU before you did a reboot. Yeah, pretty much. I think a lot of people can agree with you. I think we would have all done that. They should have reboot first. I mean, they should have let everything end properly and then do a full reboot. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Well, at least you're honest. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna sugarcoat y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it real. I don't give a damn about the cartoon or the book or whatever there is. Like, yo, there's a movie on it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the movie. Oh, but it's not accurate. I don't care. Same thing with the comics. I'm like, I ain't gonna go and read it. I'll look at the pictures, but I'm not gonna go back and be like, yeah, let me go read it just because everybody. Yeah, I don't care. I'm just gonna go straight up to what the movie is and stuff. Comic book cast guy is kind of a witty Batman DC, but he's excited Batman. He's a shill. I know. What's his name? I think his name is Arnie. I think Arnie from Comic Book Cast. Yeah, he's a shill. He's always been a shill. James Gunn needs to leave DC. That would begin the healing big time. Yeah, he is trolling DC fans at this point. Yeah, yeah. Once James Gunn is 100% out, then again the world is healing. I'll say it right then and there. Yeah, I said it. And what? Mad Max, it's the same rumors we've been hearing. Yeah, Army. There you go, Armin, that dude. Yeah, he's a shill. He's straight up a hardcore shill for Disney and for DC. They straight up slide him a check, and he'll straight up simp for them. They tell him roll over, he rolls over. Here's a treat. That's the treat. Like they give him a check and stuff like that. So, it's sad, but y'all can 100% be, comfortable and know that me, see as the director, I will never shill and I will never simp. Even if I do like something, I still won't do it. I refuse to do it because this is not in my nature. I'm not. I'm just not. Oh, we're gonna give you free passes. Screw your passes. I'll go pay them myself regardless. Like I don't need you to bribe me with passes. That's just the type of person I am. You get what I'm saying? And it is what it is. But it's sad to see how many YouTubers have sold themselves. Just because some free. Oh, well, it'll make me it'll increase my whatever it is. And I don't care. I don't give a damn about that. I'm just gonna call it how it is. People know when it's real and when it's fake. I'm not here and sugarcoat it and chill and be like, yo, that's straight up. Nah, man, I don't got time for that. James Gunn is really a mess. Darkseid for his voice. Yeah, I don't know. For sure he's gonna get and turn Darkseid into a joke, man. Gunn is out after his contract is up. That's for sure. Yeah, but we have to keep close eye on this. Like I told y'all the other day, his contract is supposed to expire this year in November, and it got extended to next year in 2027 spring. Don't be surprised. Let me just tell you and let y'all know. Probably this could happen. It's a 50-50. I could be really wrong, but if they end up extending his contract after again in 2027, damn, that's how I'm gonna feel. Like Farouk from WWE. If you watched wrestling, you know what I'm talking about. When he used to be like, damn, the same way I'll feel the same way. I'll be like, damn, like, yo, like this doesn't improve. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen, but it could happen. Because again, David Zaslav is still attached. Remember, that's the part that has to be fully removed. He has to be out of Warner Brothers, and he's still being attached, even if the sale does go through. That's the part that's worrying me. He's still gonna be attached, so we'll see what happens. Neurotic and Geek Gamers, people are sad news for games. James Gunn, DCU, Batman. Well, I know I've seen some videos from Neurotic lately. I know I put a comment the other day, and he actually acknowledged it. I'll probably share the picture that I had taken and stuff. And I had posted, James Gunn's DCU is fully cooked, especially with the Avengers, and he read it out loud, and that was pretty solid. I was like, all right, cool, like they're watching. That's what I'm saying. Um, so again, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but it would be nice if more people and I think they're finally realizing, him and his team, that yeah, James Gunn is not the right person to be in charge of DC. And with the following that he has, like they should be pushing that more. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't need these companies to be like, hey, shill for me. Nah, man, I'm gonna tell you straight up how it is, and that's what more people need to do. Call it how it is. Superman 2025, a lot of people were simping for that before it came out. They were all on the James Gunn train. And once they saw that train wrecked, they were like, nah, hell no, I'm done. I don't believe in Gunn no more. And that's how people are finding out now. And now look, just hearing Christina Hudson's gonna be attached and writing the next Batman movie, a lot of people are giving up. They're like, nah, I'm done. I'm officially done. So they're realizing. So we'll see what happens. What do you think the first DCEU comeback movie will be? Well, I think how they should approach it, very simple, is first, at this point where we are, we already got the Snyder cut, so that's a win. First thing is announce David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Once that's announced, and released, move with Zack Snyder's The Dark Knight Returns to kick off the return and the big comeback of everybody and everyone, and then go into Man of Steel 2, because things left off with Black Adam, setting up Man of Steel 2, because of course Henry Cavill was back, and announce right after that Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. Boom, I would be good with that. Just that alone, yo, that would be dope. If they want to throw in a cyborg with Ray Fisher, that's even bonus. I'll be like, let's go. Like let's go. I'm good with it, you know. But I think that's how they should approach it. You know, they literally have material there, and if they want to release Batgirl for shits and giggles, why not? You know, so that would be cool. Batman Brave and the Bold will be like Batgirl canceled that joke with WB. Why is gonna announce a new project when he knows his contract is up in 2027? He's hoping to get an extension. Yeah, but don't be surprised if they do give him an extension. That's the part where I'm watching. I'm really paying close attention to see the actions. If big if, all right, if Netflix does acquire WB and if Netflix does extend James Gunn's contract, we're still in trouble. I'm gonna leave it at that with that. Just because, like I said, I'm gonna keep a close eye on that. I'm watching it like a hawk. I'm watching it real close. Because like I said, actions speak louder than words. And to me, they can BS us and say, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Yeah. But your actions are showing that you're still extending James Gunn's contract. That's the part we have to watch. So if from here to spring 2027, his contract does, for whatever reason, get another extension, then that's bad. Then, like I said, I'll leave it at that. Chris Pratt needs to play Batman in the DCU. That would be hilarious if they cast him as it. Um, what is this? Heel versus Babyface. AZ doesn't like Gunn, what he's doing either. Yeah, a lot of people they're upset with that. Are you going to do a video about Will Smith posted Leto, Jay Hernandez haircut? I'm not sure. I'm not even familiar with that. Pretty much what, just talking about the haircut? Yeah, I don't mind. I'm gonna look into it and see what info is out there and stuff. Gunn is trolling as head of DC. He can greenlight whatever he wants, but whether it happens is something else. Yeah, exactly. He can promise all these things, but they can be just pulled the plug on. David Cornsway, he's worried about Batman, James Gunn's DCU. You believe Chris Pratt will be Batman. Gunn isn't versatile on his casting. Exactly. Remember how I noticed and I told y'all that? Gunn always goes with family and friends. Yeah, I would not be surprised if Chris Pratt does end up being Batman. I think at this point, remember, he was on the set of Superman when they were filming it. So what the hell was Chris Pratt doing there? He's good friends with James Gunn, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen. If Netflix purchase doesn't work, Netflix is toast. Yeah, we'll see what happens. James Gunn might get villains. Mad Hatter, Condiment King before Brave and the Bold. I would love to see a Mad Hatter, and I'm curious to see if they were to do a what do you call it, a Condiment King. That would be funny, but at the same time, I would like to see how they would go with that character. Like yeah, I would really want to see how they could do Condiment King. Condiment King and Batmite would be two characters that I really want to see what James Gunn can cook. And I say that because these are wacky characters. We're like, what the hell? Those are characters that James Gunn, I won't lie. Those are characters that I know he could pull through in the sense of he'll bring them to live action. I just want to know how he'll bring that. I'm curious. I'm curious because this dude's always bringing up Batmite. So I'm at the point as the audience, I'm like, dude, prove me. What can you do with Batmite? That's how I feel with that, you know. Let's see. Happy Friday, by the way. Yes, sir. Happy Friday to everybody and stuff like that. But with that being said, my friends, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I'm about to get going. If something else does come up, which I know something will come up, because every Friday, notice that there's always something new that comes out before the end of the day. So we still have some hours before today is over. So don't be surprised if I come back later, just because probably something dropped new, a new trailer, a new announcement, and WB and DC and Netflix, this whole thing that's going around, something might be said today, you know, regarding whatever comes up with the updates and things like that. But until then, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace out.